Okay. Oh my God, your webcam quality though.
It's
How do
so
you
bad.
fix this shit?
Yeah, I just bought it. Is there anything I can do?
No, you're good. It's actually just gonna be hilarious because like people are gonna think that I do this because of
Yeah.
Rod. Like Rod's camera couldn't be
Riz-
worse, and it turns out you beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. Bet.
So today I am joined here by young Boostio, most
Yo.
notable for his Overwatch career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
How was it like being in Overwatch? Like, were you in Overwatch League? Because
No.
when I first started playing Valorant, people introduced you to me as like you were an Overwatch pro. So what was that? Like, what was your
I was
time like in Overwatch?
Yeah, I was like in challengers pretty much. It was just contenders, like tier 2 Overwatch. So it'd be like the challenger circuit for Valorant. That was like my equivalent. And I was mostly a streamer as well, like when I played Overwatch.
Do you think like the practice schedule in Overwatch compares to Val? Like, what do you think of like the competitive scenes stacked up against each other? Because I've talked a lot with CS pros, but I've actually never heard the perspective of an Overwatch pro when it comes to this
Okay.
question.
Yeah, so for Overwatch is terrible. Like scrims are like usually terrible. You don't really even do VOD review because there's nothing to like VOD review in the game because like it's like all just like team fights. It's not like there's not like little minor details you need to really know in Overwatch. It's just like whoever has the best aim and like the best like I guess like fast team synergy because like so much shit's going on. And then there's literally no VOD review. I'd never VOD reviewed a day in my life until I played Valorant. And then there's no server time in Overwatch either really because there's no like strats to go over. It's just like you just run at each other. So like Overwatch was
No way, dude.
Yes, Overwatch was very different. It's like you could like watch an enemy team, I guess, for VOD review, but like it wasn't like you never VOD reviewed your own game really or like anything like that. Like I don't recall like ever like as like a 6-man or 5-man team in Overwatch. It used to be 6, where I would like sit down with everyone and we'd
Were
VOD
you
review
in
something.
IGL?
No, I was just like
Were you in IGL in Overwatch?
No, I was a DPS player. And usually DPS players don't IGL.
What?
Yeah. I was like a mute in Overwatch
Yeah,
actually.
This is so crazy.
I never talked
That's
when
so
I was
insane. I remember playing against you maybe when I was coaching 100 Thieves. I think I remember like your Killjoy. You were like playing like in front of the util. You were playing so aggressive and just shitting on us. And I was like, bro, this is insane. And they were like, it's just Overwatch players. That's just, they know how to use abilities different.
Yeah.
But now when I watch you play, it's like so different. Like the way you organize the team. I talked to you a lot about this at like the Champions after party. A lot of the calls that you made throughout Champions and like going into Tokyo and stuff were insane. Like you were all over people in the early round, in the mid round, and I'm sure like the late round is a lot of like micro comms, but what happened? Like how did you evolve so much as a player so quickly?
I honestly, it's a hard question to answer, but I think I IGL'd for like a year and a half or like a year before EG as well, and then I got to IGL on EG for like 2 years, like coming to this year. So I've gotten a lot of practice. Like when I first played Valorant, I was not good. My aim was bad, my comms were bad when I first started in like 2020. But like I got like 3 years, 2 years to practice, and I've just been getting like better and better. And then this year really it kind of took off with my like call it like I called more like a full IGL this year than past years. Like in past years I would call like defaults and then I'd mid round a little bit, but it was nothing like crazy at all. But I think this year my mid rounding was like insane, especially in matches. And yeah, it just worked out. Every call, every default that I called, every like fast default, every slow default, every mid round, it just all worked. Like literally just every attack side.
I said this at the party. I'll say it again. I think the most impressive series you guys played was that Loud series at Champions. What did that feel like to beat those guys on map 5? They like clawed their way back in that series, and I'm watching as an NA fan, just like,
oh fuck, yeah,
EG is fucked. Like NA is so done in this scenario. Map 5, the reverse sweep is definitely gonna happen. So like, what was that like in that moment on like map 5?
I could kind of run you through like the whole series pretty fast, I think, because for us, like map 1 and 2, or like map 1 especially, it was like damn, this shit is so easy. And then map 2, the same thing. It just felt so free. Like I felt like after map 2, everyone thought we already made finals, like grand finals. So
Yeah.
it definitely felt like that. Like the vibes were like that. And Demon 1 can like have a really bad problem about like trolling really hard sometimes when like when he thinks the opponent's like super bad, or if we're up really like just easily, he will like outwardly it's like pretty much just say he's trolling. It's fucked. But after the no, it's fucked. It's fucked. He's the best player in the world, but he is an idiot. He's so stupid. Love him to death though. But after map 3, I think the vibes were still good. Like, dude, we're up 2 maps. Like, we're 1 map away from grand finals. And then map 4 we lost, and we were like, you kind of could tell the vibes were like, fuck. And then I think Potter and like someone on EG literally said, let's just go outside for map 5. Like, so we walked out of the venue, like to like it's far, and we ended up getting a warning by Riot saying, hey, like you cannot be that late next time, because we literally just walked out there, sat in the sun, talked just for like 2 minutes. Just the team, just like, let's clear our heads, and we went in there, and then we just fucking owned for map 5.
Speaking of Potter, kind of like stemming off of this, how impactful do you think Potter was in the team's success? Because I mean, there's so many narratives of like, the B team was super impactful. Zikz was very impactful. You have people like Screwface, who's like a secondary IGL, like in the background, probably helping you guys. Like, you're a great IGL too. So it's hard to divvy up all of the credit where it's due. How would you divvy it up as the IGL of the team? Like, who was the most impactful?
That's a good question. I definitely think this was kind of like Potter's team. I think she did a lot, like, for the 5 players. It kind of like she was a very, very big role in our win. So I definitely would say, well, it's hard for coaches to have the most impact, but it's like definitely like Potter's team. And then the most impact for us, like as players, was, I don't know, all 4 of my teammates were like, all of them just had infinite value. Demon 1 killing everyone, Ethan with like the best support, Calm with the flanks, and then Jaw doing Jaw things. So it's like, to me, I like my whole team was just the best. So like there was just no way we were losing champs this year. Unless we were Fnatic maybe, if they looked good, but they didn't.
That's what I felt too, like watching you guys. Like, Rod gives me this question, like, who do you pick, this person or that person? Like, well, they all seemed like best in their role by the end of Champions. Like, everyone on the team was like really firing all cylinders. Were like the mid-round calls coming throughout the team, or was it just like all from you? Like, is Ethan involved in that? Like,
Ethan is definitely
everything
involved.
was so good.
Yeah, Ethan is definitely involved, but like I said, throughout the year, I just kept getting better and better. And Ethan was mid-rounding a good bit, but like by the end of like champs, when we were playing champs, I was like mid-rounding like 80 to 85% of the rounds. I was like calling everything for like a lot of the rounds, and Ethan would definitely, give calls here and there, which is very impactful when he did it. But I called a lot of the mid-rounds, all the defaults, and it was just working. Everything I was like calming to my teams was just working.
What do you think changed from like the moment Demon 1 was brought into this team? Do you think like, well, it turns out we just needed like a star duelist? Because it's not like BCJ is a bad player.
Yeah, he's good.
What happened in your eyes to like end up here where we are today?
Yeah, I've done a lot of reflecting.
Because that's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's insane. Done a lot of reflecting, because like when you win like this, you definitely should like reflect and see like why you won, why were you the best team. And I think it just adding Demon 1, of course, he's gonna get a bunch of kills, so that does make the whole like game itself easier. But I think just every match we played with him, everyone just kept getting more and more comfortable with each other. So I've talked about this with a couple people, not like in like online or anything, but like a lot of the stuff we did at the same time, like mid-match, would be literally cooked in that 2 seconds. One player would cook it literally. Some of the most like, or like people would be watching. I'd be watching like YouTube VODs or VOD of you, anyone, Sliggy. They'd be like, dude, I wonder how many times they practiced that. And I'm like, dude, one of us just called that and we just all used the ultimates and it worked just like that. And like it was just literally our team synergy.
Some of the fracture set plays?
Yes. Some of that was not like. Some of them are cooked, but like there was like 2 or 3. Like the one, I think the most famous one would be the one where we brim ulti and then nade the guy out, the raise that door, and then Jaw's nade kills him when he like double satchels away, and everyone's like, that set play is crazy. It was just like Jaw holding his nade out for when we brim ult, and he just did it on the fly. We weren't like talking about it before. It's like a lot of
Dude, you
that
had
is
so
what.
many insane set plays.
Yes, that's what it. Which we
What?
did, but at the same time, like half of those were just cooked on the fly. Like I guarantee if you go look at our
That's
VODs,
so insane.
you'll see me, Ethan, or Com, or someone pinging on the map where to put like ultis pre-round, or like where to put certain pieces of util, and it was just literally just live.
That's so crazy. So what do you think fosters like a team like that? Because
Hmm.
now I'm super interested because this is like it's like lightning in a bottle in my opinion. Like getting a team as a coach that will listen to your set plays, but also giving them the freedom to do the shit that you just described. That's a
Hmm.
very delicate line to walk. And it's one I tried to walk with 100 Thieves. Like
Hmm.
you want to allow people to use ults however they want
Hmm.
when they see fit. But then
Opportunity,
you
yeah,
also
yeah,
need to reel it in if it's too loose. So
yeah.
how do you do that again?
That's a good question. So I think okay, so I think just rip your ults whenever. If you look at EG, we said fuck it. Like if you want to rip your ult, if you think we can win, even if we have classics, just rip it. But I think a lot of it comes down to Potter. This is like one of the strongest suits of Potter's coaching too. Was that dude for the last, especially me? I've been on the team for like 2 or 3 years, and dude, it's been the same way. Literally every scrim, or not every, but a lot of scrims, she would make us do the same defaulter strat like 8 times in a row, and like it would be so boring. But we ended up finding every variable. Literally, our strats were uncounterable because we ran them so many times. If we saw someone in a certain piece of the map, we would know what piece of util to throw, pretty much, on like an exec. So it's like we knew everything what to do, and it's very good. Like it's insane to practice that way, even though it's super boring.
Dude, that's hilarious that she did that. So that's
Yeah.
actually something that I would do in CS when I was
Hmm.
IGLing. I would call and tell my team to literally do the same A strat 12 rounds in a row.
Hmm.
And obviously by like round 5, the other team is just super aware. And
Yeah,
they're probably going to
yeah,
have like 4 people there, but you get to experience
yeah.
the
Hmm.
worst case scenario. And
Yep.
going through like the worst case scenario helps a lot because then you understand like, okay, well, they just double naded us right off the rip. Like, what could that possibly mean? That means we still got to clear like this angle and that angle.
Hmm.
And you really focus on all of the bad things that can happen. And that worked really well in CS. I couldn't get the players on 100 Thieves to do that. They were not down to just like waste scrims like that, which
Yeah,
was
I
kind of
think.
unfortunate in
Yeah,
a sense. But
I
yeah,
think it's very good. Honestly, like that shit is the best.
that's crazy that she had you guys do that. And then she
Yeah,
also mentioned that she had you guys like grinding best of fives and stuff too, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah. The
way
whole
ahead of time. This was,
This is forever ago.
yeah.
We've been doing this forever. So yeah, literally, I think before Brazil even, we would do like we would have 1 day a week where we would have, yeah, two scrims, and then like a 10-minute break, and then just 3 scrims right after, and like that was the whole day. It was just best of fives, and we've done that since before Brazil, which those days sucked.
Yeah, that's a super good idea. How would you say? Because now I don't know if you can leak it, but Flynn's spreadsheet says you're going to 100 Thieves with Zikz. I mean, Zikz was announced. What was Zik's role like within the team? No one talks about Zikz, but the fact that he landed this head coaching role leads me to believe he had a pretty impactful part within the team.
Yeah, I think Zix is a very good coach. I love Zix, one of my very good friends. And yeah, he did a lot of like very, very good scouting. I think my IGLing was a lot better because of him. And he also was very like focused on the minute details of Valorant itself, like how long would a Sova dart cool down, or how long just like very weird, like what is like the max damage of the shock dart, like how many meters is that, like 2 meters away or 1 meter away. Just a lot of these minute details with a lot of the agent's abilities and just how the game works. And we got a lot of like little weird quirks we could do with agent abilities, or with like tapping the bomb or something. Literally just minute details that not many people even realize are happening. But he would always talk to us about that, and like how much damage a molly would do, or how long they last. Like a lot of these like to the minute details. And I think it was really good for us because Com and Ethan are like very like not methodical, I don't know the word, but like they like the little minute details to know exactly like what they need to do. And I think it helped them a lot, especially, and it helped me a lot too.
That's great. So was he, man, that's so sick. He's like a statistic Samuel. He's just over here just studying all the stats and stuff. Finding all these little edges.
And he's a good vibe guy, so that's good too. Like I remember, I don't know if anyone.
I feel like everyone on EG was a good vibe.
That's true. Everyone is a good vibe guy, yeah. But so you know how we got 13-0'd by Loud, right? In the Americas.
Yeah.
We were it was NA playoffs versus Loud, and we were on split, or it was versus Energy or Loud again, I forget. But we were on split, and it was 11-1 they were beating, or it was 11-0 they were beating us. And we paused, and all we hear like Tony or Zikz in the background saying, "Just don't let it happen again, guys." And we all started dying laughing, and then we got the next round, and then we got 13-1 instead of 13-0 again. So he likes to make little funny.
That's good.
So he likes to make little funny jokes, which are good. I like them.
Speaking of funny jokes, what was it like watching Chosen knife 100 Thieves chance out of the playoffs and getting you guys in? Going back to that moment.
I'm literally sitting in my apartment. Common Jaw at the office. Everyone sees the clip of Common Jaw because they were streaming it. But I'm literally with my IRL friends. Like, I'm like, bro, like, I'm gonna be coming back home probably to see you guys in a couple weeks. Like, while watching the match, like, I'm probably gonna come back, see you guys. Like, I can't wait to hang out with you guys because they all like follow my career. And we're just watching the game, and just round by round, MIBR keeps winning rounds. They win the first map. And I was like, what? Wait a minute, what the fuck? And then it goes to like, they're like up 12-6 on second map or something, and then 100T comes back. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, we're not going to make playoffs. There's no way. And then the third map happens, and MIBR just shits on them. And then the knife kill happens, and just me and all my friends in Discord just start screaming into the mic. And I was like, I told my girlfriend, my parents, everyone, like, I'll probably be back in like a week. There's no way MIBR beats 100T, so I'll see you guys soon. And then I ended up staying away from them for another like 2 months because of that, because we kept winning.
You guys kept winning.
We kept winning. It's so
like
nuts.
It spurred something within you.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
It has to be the craziest story I've ever seen in esports.
I agree. Like, I'm a part of it, so it feels very like, I try not to like look at it that much, but like I'll be watching like YouTube videos like about champs, and I'm like, I'm actually like a part of, like, I forget that I was like a part of the team like when that happens. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like I personally like love watching content to do with any esports. I'm like a huge esports watcher of like League of Legends, CS:GO, all of it. And like for me to be a part of like such an insane storyline in like esports is like, it's nothing I could dream of. And I watch these videos and I'm like, there's no way I did that. And it's just like, it's crazy. I still haven't like fully realized like that we're like world champions and that we like literally are the best team in the world.
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole story is just so magnificent. Like, even after that, you guys make that playoff run, right? And the way you just beat down Cloud9, who was like, in many people's eyes, like the best team in North America at that time. What was that like? I mean, were you guys beating them in scrims? Like, how the hell did that happen? That was so outrageous to me in that moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I think like the whole year we scrimmed like it felt like we never scrimmed franchise teams. That's what it felt like. I don't think we scrimmed.
Wow.
Did we scrim Cena? I have terrible memory, but I feel like we would scrim like Leviathan in like very like little franchise teams. It felt like it was always tier 2 or tier 3, and so like no, we didn't. I don't remember like shitting on Cloud9 and scrims, but like I think that NRG win kind of gave us like insane confidence, like because like NRG has kind of like always been our kryptonite, like just like that core, like it felt like. And just beating them, I think, gave like a really big confidence boost to like me, Ethan, Jaw, Com. And then we went into that C9 match and just dominated them. And I don't know, I don't think I've even went back to watch that VOD yet, that C9 VOD. But like, I don't know if they were like playing super bad. I don't know if like they were just having an off day. But yeah, we ended up just like shitting on them.
Yeah, dude. That was their first game in playoffs, and they were 17-4 in maps in the regular season. Like, they were red hot. And I feel like that is what made them just fall off the radar. Like that, they just couldn't handle losing like that in when they were so favored. Like they were definitely favored in that matchup. And like that was the start of your guys' run. And then after you guys qualify, everyone finds out that Demon 1 can't get into Japan. And like, what was that like for the team? Because you guys were like practicing in Tokyo, right, with like Apoth? Is that right?
No, it was Reformed.
Reformed, that's who
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, Reformed.
So what were those days like where you guys were just like waiting?
Dude, it was very weird because like we were feeling very confident even after losing to Energy and Loud in the playoffs. We were still feeling very confident. We knew we should have won that Loud series. If you go back and watch that best of 3 in NA playoffs, we should have won that best of 3. No, like, but we just absolutely threw it. But besides the point, we were feeling very confident still. But like confident with our main team. But like when you have a sub and like you go on a run with a player, like we went on that playoff run with Demon One, and then he helped us a lot make Tokyo, and him not being there, everyone's vibes were off. We're like, this is gonna be a vacation, man. Like, there's no way we're gonna be able to like realistically, we're not gonna be able to compete with like not our real five. And back then, we weren't like super confident. Like after Tokyo, we were confident, but like winning NA playoffs, like who cares? International is like a whole different ball game. So like some of us were still very inexperienced on the international stage. So a lot of us were like, damn, we're not like bringing Demon One. Like we're bringing our sub. We haven't played with them in like 8 months, our sub, and it's like, I mean, Tokyo's super sick to go visit. So like, let's go do it. So, and then randomly the last day, which we all knew, but at the same time, I don't think anyone said this before. We all knew he could potentially go. We knew that like it's a no right now, but there could be some strings that are pulled where he could go. So we were confident, or we were hoping for that, but still the vibes were a little down. But it ended up pulling through, and the last day he's like, "I'm gonna be there," and then he comes.
It's so crazy. And then you guys go on that run there, and you were the only team that I felt like stood a chance against Fnatic in that entire tournament. How did you feel like after that tournament ended? Like, did you feel like you would beat Fnatic in a rematch, or did you feel like they were still maybe like untouchable? Like, what was the team perception of Fnatic?
Our perception, well, see, I'm my own person, but honestly, they did look untouchable. We almost beat them in that best of 3. That was also very close. So we know we could beat them. I was never scared of them, or I was always excited to play them, but they were the best team in the world. And dude, like their Tokyo run was like the most dominant thing anyone's ever seen, and it felt like it in the server. There was nothing you could do. Like even though that our first best of 3 was close, it felt so doomed from the beginning. Just every round was like a battle. Every round just didn't go your way. They aim better than you. They're an incredible team, but we're the only team that can take them down. That's what it felt like in Tokyo. Like I remember us saying like we will be the only ones to be able to take them down. And then, of course, we didn't. And then we never got to see them again for the rest of the year. So, I mean, I still say to this day that they're probably more than likely the best team in the world, or it's us and them. Especially next year, man. They're going to be number 1, number 2. I don't know how they failed at champs. Because even like in the hotel.
That's what was my next question. Is how did Loud do it? How did Loud do it?
Like, how did Loud come back, you think? Or what's the question?
How did Loud beat Fnatic twice?
Dude, I don't know. Those matches are insane to like watch. Like, I in the hotel, you know, because all the players are in the hotel together, you know. It definitely on the Fnatic side, something felt off for some reason. No, I didn't see anything happen or anything. I didn't hear any rumors or anything. It just like when I was around like some of their players just like walking in the hall or. This was at the start of the tournament. This is not even after a loss. Like something felt off when I would like speak to them in the hallway, and that's literally how I felt. And then they ended up losing to Loud that first series, and I was like, damn, like if they verse Loud again, we might not have to play them, which I was praying for because I don't like playing Fnatic. So I was praying for Loud to beat them, and I like playing Loud. And same with Loud, dude. Even in the hallways in like when I would see them, like, dude, the vibes felt off on that team too. Like no team was like EG, to be honest. Besides PRX was pretty vibey, but it just like when I would walk around, the team atmosphere felt so weird at champs for those two teams. But Loud, for some reason, in server, that's what it felt like to me. I don't know. I could be, misreading, but Loud still pulled through though, and they're fucking insane.
Yeah, I was terrified that Loud was about to just win that tournament and like steal it for you guys.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
But because I did feel like the Paper X rematch, and maybe we can talk about that next. I thought that was a really good matchup for you guys, like with the map pools and the fact that like even with their 2 bans, I was like, honestly, EG is just chilling. Like they're okay with like not getting these bans. So like, how did you guys feel after, you know, losing that like heartbreaker in the upper bracket against them, like coming back in the finals in the rematch? Like, did you feel like they were fucked this time? Like they weren't going to get as lucky?
Yeah, we were so, dude, like we were so, Champs was really weird, dude, because we felt extremely confident, but like at the same time, bro, like after like it's kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, but it's like being a losing team in Americas and then like going on a run is like super cool. But like at the same time, like you kind of get imposter syndrome. That's what I felt like. Like I felt like a fraud, not a fraud, but like I'm gonna call it a fraud. I felt like a fraud. Like we just somehow win 2 games in NA playoffs. We go to Tokyo and we just fucking beat everyone. And it's like, are we that good? Like we're winning, but are we that good? And so going into champs, I was like feeling like I hope we don't get grouped. Like I wasn't even thinking of the championship match. I wasn't thinking of playoffs. I was like, I hope we don't get fucking grouped to these bad teams like Foot and T1 and FPX. And I was scared. But after like the 2 matches in groups, it felt like Tokyo again instantly. Like we were just unbeatable. And then we played that PRX match like you just said, and we should have won that. So like we threw that so hard. And then in the grand finals, it definitely was like, there's no way we're gonna lose this. I remember waking up that morning and was like, I'm gonna be a world champion.
I loved how passionate you guys were throughout the whole thing. It was like, I don't know, I've never seen a team do the shit you did. I'm literally looking at a picture right now of you touching the goddamn trophy.
Yeah, it's
like you guys could not have done more things to jinx yourself.
Oh.
I don't even understand how we're sitting here today. Like you guys broke every goddamn rule.
I know, bro.
What happened? Like how?
And like I
you
believe
talked your shit. You backed it up.
I believe in karma too, bro. Like
how?
And like I because my mom like would always say like, you know, just have good karma, like be nice to people, they'll be nice back. And bro, I remember like I was like, this tournament, karma does not fucking exist. And I touch the trophy. I would fucking say we're gonna beat every team that we played. Called DRX dog shit, 2 of them. Called fucking EDG dog shit, beat them. It's like it was like defying everything that normally like how things go, and we ended up beating everyone. It was nuts.
That's so hilarious, dude. That's so hilarious. So when you guys did win, you like immediately just like fell to your knees. Like I remember watching the whole thing. Like what was that shit like? Like taking off your headphones, because that place was roaring right before you guys won. Like I was in the green room for a second and I was like, dude, I got to get out there like ASAP. I'm watching literally like the Boston CSGO major all over again. The NA team's winning on home soil, and this is about to be fucking sick. And I'm just getting goosebumps watching it right now.
I'm
like,
getting goosebumps of you talking about it. Dude, for one, I did not hear the crowd at all when we won. I was in my own little world, and like, dude, I've been following like I've been on like the Hotline League, if you know what that is. I've talked with a couple league people, and like,
yeah.
I've followed esports my whole life. I've been on the computer. A computer has been in my hand since I was 5 years old. I was on Twitch when I was like 10, or Justin TV back then. I've watched every League of Legends world. I wasn't that big into CSGO, but I've watched some of the majors growing up. I was huge in League, and like, dude, I never would have imagined that I'd be like in a Riot game, same thing, Valorant League, and like I could never imagine myself at Worlds itself. Like I remember wishing when I was 12 years old, like to be next to Faker, like at Worlds and just play against him. And then here I am in fucking LA, like 30 minutes from my apartment, just 20,000 people watching me, and then we end up fucking just destroying everyone and winning. And it's like I said, dude, it's fucking almost a month later, and it still feels like I can watch myself win it. I've watched the VOD like fucking 10 times, and I still don't believe I was there. Like I like in my head, I barely have any memory of it. Like it's such a weird feeling, and I know in like 10 years I'm gonna be like, that is the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I can't wait to show my kids. But like right now, it's like there is no like I can't even describe the feeling. It is insane.
Dude, fucking Elon Musk and Ben Affleck were watching you guys win that shit.
Yeah. That is insane.
That's insane.
But also, like, I always felt like in my Overwatch career, I was always like tier 2. I could never make it to like AL, like Overwatch League. Like I played pro for like 3 or 4 years in that game, and I was always like gate capped. And like in Valorant, I thought the same thing was gonna happen in franchising. Like 5 NA teams. I had like 5,000 followers on Twitter before franchising. It's like, dude, like I'm a nobody, like pretty much, if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things before franchising. It's like for me and John Comp to make franchising back then was like, what the fuck is EG doing? These guys didn't make any internationals in the last 3 years. They never really even made playoffs in tier one. Like, why even keep them? And it's like, I felt gatekept my whole life in esports, but then like we got a chance. Like Potter, EG gave us a chance, and Potter knew since the beginning that we are like some of the best players in the world. We always used to say that 2 years ago when I was like on like a completely different team with different players. She would always be like, "You will be one of the best players in the world." She's always said it. Same with John Com, and they just believed in us, and then we just got to prove it. And it's like I don't see any other like universe where like things could have gone differently and worked out for me as they did in like this universe. So it's nuts.
What do you think Potter saw in you guys? Because like you said, like I think the community feedback during the time when the EG roster was announced was extremely negative, extremely toxic. They were wondering why like big names like like I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out one, just like Wardell or
Xander
someone like Stewie or Brad, like all the Xander, like the M80 guys. You can just literally just keep going, the guard people. Like, why were they not on this team? So, what do you think like Potter saw in you guys where she knew that this was a possibility?
It's a good question because I'm not her, but maybe, I mean, all of us have insane work ethic. Potter, I've seen her, she has worked so much in the last 2 years, more than I have, to be honest. Like, she is bringing so many notes to practice, so many like tips, so many like watching our practice back every day, saying like, hey, you kind of fucked up here, do this better, or try to do this differently. And I think she just saw our aim, our ability to just improve, to listen to what she's saying, to just want to be better, to like just keep up like the hard work. And I mean, all of our aim, like she picked up a lot of good aimers, like me, Jock, like Com, like you. But even back then, when we were nobodies, our aim was like we would always say in practice, we were literally the best aimers in the world. Like we will shit on people if we like just play properly. And so she just believed in us, and we fucking just. It's kind of nice to kind of prove it to her, like she believed in us and we like pulled through for her. So that's like actually pretty cool. That I haven't really thought about.
Was it in your contract to like hold the mic for Potter during like the map veto process?
No, I was just like, no, because Potter always carries a little book, and I was like, Potter, you want me to carry this for you? And she started laughing. I was like, yeah, I got you. So I would just hold it for her.
No, that was actually a hell of funny. Whenever you guys would do the vetoes and you just feel like hold the thing up for her, like, I was like, that's so fucking
funny.
Hilarious, that whole bit.
Yeah, I did it every match.
Okay, how did like the second team help you guys like going into PRX? Because I talked with Screwface a little, and he told me like you guys were even willing to do like crazy shit with the comps. Like you guys were willing to run like Harbor Reno with the second team just to like feel it out, How much do you think that like helped your calling and understanding of what they were going to do that day?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The reserve team is nuts, bro. Dude, a lot of times the reserve team, which they're their own team, they can't play in tournaments, but they are their own team. They VOD review, they do everything that normal teams do. And we would, if we needed a practice day, we would tell them to cancel with whoever. And like to have that power is like, and they're a really good team. They were destroying teams in scrims, like destroying them. And so to have the power to like, if someone cancels on us or we get like a shit like tier 3 team, it'd be like, hey reserve, can you like cancel your scrim block and come scrim with us? It's like that's very overlooked. Like that is nuts. And then yeah, every scrim they would literally play the comp that we think the enemy team's gonna play, and they will watch the enemy team's VOD to do their defaults and their executes, and then we play against that. And it's like, yeah, dude, we got like reps that no other team would ever get. It's like, is there gonna be a Phoenix on Pearl doing this fucking rollout that Jing does, and then I'm backside on B holding it for 8 rounds in a row? It's like, no, that's not how you scrim. But with our reserve team, we can scrim that way, and it was low key fucking nuts. It was super good practice. But I think we got really lucky though, because if a team's bad, then that won't work. If you're just gonna fucking 20-4 them every scrim, it's like that won't work. So we were blessed to have our reserve team be such good players that they can actually like really scrim us. So it was like it just lined up perfectly. Like, oh, let me move my cam a little bit. It just lined up perfectly. Like, You need good players that are willing to just listen to adapt, play new rules, and all 5 of them did it perfectly, and it was just nuts.
Yeah, dude, people don't realize how good some of those players were. Like, they were literally just playing for EG the season before at a pro level and playing really fucking well. Like, they were semi-pros in the worst like, you couldn't even call them semi-pros. They were legitimately pros that just signed to be on a reserve team, like, because they thought that that'd probably be, like, the better chance of, like, being VCT. Like, I mean, were those players ever, like, deflated about that? Like, were they trying to, like, compete for jobs on the team? Did it make any problems, like, behind the scenes?
That's a good question. I will say, dude, all of them want to compete, of course. No one wants to be on, like, a reserve team and, like, just be on the bench and just, like, scrim for no reason. Definitely, some of them are my good friends, and I've definitely had conversations where it's like, dude, like, sometimes I don't want to be here. Like, I want to play in tournaments. Like, watching you guys win is like, I wish, like, I remember those days back a year ago with you when we were, like, coming up and beating Optic. Like, there's a couple of them or all of them want to play, of course, but yeah, I've had a conversation with a couple of them, and they're definitely ready to compete, and I hope to see some of them in franchising next year because they're nuts. They're very good, or at least on a challengers team and not on a reserve team anymore, because they will prove a lot of people wrong. And if they make a team, they will make challengers and shit on everyone.
I gotta say, like, are you rocking, like, the EG championship merch?
Yeah, bro, that shit was fire, bro. Yeah, that shit is pathetic, bro. That shit was, dude. By the way, like, after, like, we won, like, I was on Twitter for, like, one day, and then after that, I didn't touch Twitter for, like, 3 days because I was, like, doing my road trip, right? Bro, I didn't even know about, like, that shit happening, or, like, for, like, a little bit, and then someone on the team was like, "Bro, did you see that?" And I was like, "See what?" And I looked, and I was like, "Oh my, like, how the fuck?" Like, how does that happen? Like, that is crazy. That's nuts.
Bro, that's like I'm in charge of designing that shit.
No, that's me too. Like, bro, oh my god, it was. I saw that and I was like, God damn, that's not good. That just can't be good.
If the rumors are right, you should get better merch in the future. So
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess, like, I just want to, like, kind of talk about you and, like, all your shit you like to do now, because you went on this fucking insane road trip. Like, you want to talk about, like, where you went? Because I'm going through your Twitter feed right now. I've been following this shit, actually.
Yeah, I stopped updating because I just got tired of, like, driving. So I literally just I just drove for, like, 18 hours straight and then 12 hours straight back home from New Mexico. But I'll tell you about, like, the start of the road trip and, like, what I documented, like, what we did. So, first day, So first day I went to San Diego. It's like 2.5 hours from LA. I want to go see some of my IRL friends, and we all got tattoos together. My girlfriend got a tattoo. We just hung out just for, like, the weekend there, and then me and my girlfriend, like, didn't have an exact plan on where to go, but we wanted to go to Zion, so we drove up to Vegas. Got there at, like, 1 in the morning. I wanted to gamble, but I was like, I'm too tired. So then I went to sleep, woke up early the next day, and then I wanted to gamble, but at the same time I didn't really want to. I just wanted to get on the road. So I just went to the roulette, threw like $300 and then just lost it all. And then we drove up to Zion. I think that was the same day I'd gambled. Yeah, we got to Zion. In Zion, have you ever been to Zion?
I've actually never been, but I've heard it's amazing.
Dude, it is fucking insane. Like, I'm not, like, a huge nature guy. I love video games. Like, I don't go outside really. But Zion National Park is, like, the most beautiful place I've ever been to. And it's, like, super, like, tourist friendly. Like they show you how to do everything, like the hikes, like where to go. You stay in a hotel, a bus picks you up to go to the park. Like, it's literally the most beautiful place, like, I've ever been to in my life. And, like, me and my girlfriend went on, like, 4 or 5 different hikes, like, throughout 2 days. We rode some bikes there. Yeah, and then we left Zion early the second day, and we drove all the way to Albuquerque. But from Zion, which is at, like, the bottom left of Utah, you go through Arizona and then east to New Mexico. And, dude, these mountains in Arizona, like North Arizona and South Utah, are fucking nuts. You were driving on roads. Maybe like 80 miles north or something, somewhere around there. something like that.
I
Yeah,
used to live in Arizona, so I know the mountains you're talking about. That shit
bro,
is sketchy.
it's
driving
sketchy
those
as
roads.
fuck, bro. I'm a big pussy. I'm like horrified of heights. I'm a big pussy, and I'm driving on these roads, literally like shaking, like fucking like going around this corner, going like 15. I'm getting honked at the whole time, and it's like, bro, like I will never do that drive again. It was, you're literally just going through mountains for like 200 miles, and it's like every like
It
20,
is
30.
scary.
It's fucked. I hated it. I fucking hated it. But it was still
It's even
super
scarier
pretty.
when it's snowy, dude.
Oh hell
When
no!
it's snowy, that shit is terrifying.
You will never catch me ever driving on that at night or in the snow. I will literally pull over. Hell no, that is scary, bro.
That-
And then we
It's
drove
actually
from.
not true because I have this video of you throwing axes. You were like the manliest of men, you know?
No,
throwing
no.
axes, going on hikes,
No, bro.
gambling.
I'm a pussy. I swear. I'm scared of the dark, bro. Like actually, I can't watch horror movies either. I'm literally the biggest little girl, but I am. I swear. And then, yeah. Then we drove through some Indian reservation in Arizona, North Arizona. Aaron, do you know what was the reservation named? Navajo Reservation. It's like North Arizona.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and we drove through that for like all of Arizona once we got into it, and super beautiful. But then we got into New Mexico, drove like to Albuquerque, and that was one day. It was like 14 hours of driving from Utah to Albuquerque, and then the next. This is where we kind of stopped doing stuff because like I kind of just wanted to be home. So Arizona to New Mexico, and then we drove New Mexico to Shreveport, Louisiana. Which like that was like a fucking another like 15-hour like drive that I did, and then
Wait, you went to wait, is Shreveport?
Shreveport, something like that. Yeah, why? Shreveport.
Okay, because
something
I was
like
born and raised in New Orleans, so like.
Oh, it's like northwest. Yeah, look it up. Sherve.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're way up there. Okay, never mind that.
Yeah. So if
Wow.
you look, so
You're
Albuquerque.
really in Louisiana.
Yeah, Albuquerque to there to Shreveport, one day, and then the next day we went Shreveport to New Orleans. We went to it's like the French Quarter, I think, in New Orleans. Is that what it's called? Do you know?
Hell yeah. Yeah, you got some beignets?
No, we were like there. We like had some coffee. What are beignets?
It's like the little donuts with the powdered sugar on top.
I've never heard of that. Oh, there's fire there?
What?
Wait, what are they called?
Oh yeah.
What are they
Hold
called?
up. I don't even know how to spell this shit. Beignets. How did you not get beignets in New Orleans?
Donuts.
What? They're so good, dude. They're
Wait,
so good.
these look fire. Wait, what are these? These are
Yeah.
like donuts?
Yeah, they're like donuts with just a bunch of powdered sugar on top.
Oh, those look
So
fire.
good. They're so good.
Yep.
Did
And
you just
then
get like drunk in New Orleans or something?
no, not even. We were there in the French Quarter for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then I drove from New Orleans to my hometown in Florida, which was another very far drive.
God
So,
damn, that's a lot of driving, dude.
Yeah, in like 2
I
days
can't
I
believe
drove.
you drove across Texas in one day, because that's
I
a
drove-
long drive.
Oh yeah, I went from Albuquerque to fucking Shreveport in one day.
Albuquerque's a pretty cool city, though, right? Like, I like the layout of all the highways. It's like, I think I remember it being like colorful and pretty. Is that the place
liked
where there's like dinosaurs and shit on the side of the road?
That's
What I'm talking about?
That's
Like when you make-
there was one in Arizona about
that
dinosaur
Arizona?
fossils.
Yeah, some crazy shit on the drive. I've made
Yeah.
that drive before.
That's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
not fun.
No, bro,
It's a
it's
long
not.
way.
It's not fun, bro. I don't know. When I pulled up to, I'm gonna be honest. I pulled up to Albuquerque at like 10 at night, 11 at night. Pulled into my La Quinta, and dude, I'm not kidding. There was fucking like on each street corner, like 4 or 5 like guys, like it looked like gangs. Like it did look like gangs in like each street corner.
Where is this going, dude?
No. But like 4 or 5 like guys in each street corner. There was a bunch of them, and I was like, and it was right next to my hotel, and I was like, dude, I'm too scared. So I drove across Albuquerque to like another hotel, and there was no one around, so I just stayed there. But when I first pulled up,
What if
to
they were
that,
all like huge Boostio fans? What if they were like, "Oh my God, is that EG Boostio?"
I don't think they were Boostio fans. I don't think they were Boostio fans, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think so. But that would be cool if they were.
Fuck, dude. I don't know, man. I love watching you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in 100 Thieves. I'm really hoping that's actually true. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
And yeah, I think that's a really good fucking lineup for you because those kids are so good. Like, they're good people, like the EG players that you're with.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're not like stuck in some like old school ways and shit like that. And I think that helped you guys a lot on EG. I loved watching like that EG team. That was so sick. That's fucking so sick.
I love all of them. They're all my boys. I'll love them forever.
Yeah.
But next year might be next year.
First season.
I know, right? That is nuts. I know. It's sick, bro. But I can't wait just to shit on them next year, though. It'll be fun.
Yeah.